In New York, there is a 120 million budget cut. There's a 120 million budget cut in New York that is going to affect schools, public libraries, and the police department. Y'all know I don't give a about the cops, but like it is what it is. There's gonna be an $120 million budget cut with schools, with the libraries, and the cops and the police department, and a $5 million budget cut in sanitation. Of a budget cut in sanitation. We're going to be drowning with rats.
Cardi B is back, dipping her toe in politics and giving takes on unfathomable cuts that are taking place.
This is what I'm telling y'all. I'm not this year. Don't ask me. I don't give a the resume that they send. I don't give a I'm not endorsing no presidents no more. Because how is there a $100 million budget cut in New York City for schools, library, police safety, and sanitation? Yeah, Joe Biden's talking about like, yeah, we could fund two wars. We could fund two wars. Talking about we don't got it, but we got it. Like we're the greatest nation. No, we're not. We're going through some right now. Like, say it.
However, one prominent TikToker weighed in.
What Joe got to do with this? Joe don't control your local state government. He is the president of the United States, meaning he's over the federal government. What's going on in New York State is New York State problems. Y'all need to be looking at Eric Adams and y'all need to be looking at Kathy Hochul. See, I didn't even with Eric Adams because I ain't with him. I wanted Maya Wiley to win. And I ain't even from New York, so I ain't had no dog in the race. That's y'all who elected these motherfuckers, not me. When we're talking about budget and we're talking about funding, that is all coming from Congress. Now, Congress decides what the budget will be. And it's up to the president to approve it after Congress decides what it's going to be. Because the president don't do that. It's in the Constitution here. As far as that money that is literally distributed to state to state from the federal level, it is up to your governor, it's up to your local legislation to decide how that money is being utilized and how it's being dispersed.
The well-known user, Too Raw, Too Real, then respectfully, and I emphasize respectfully, laid it out for her.
I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm whatever. But like, what's going to happen to my nieces? What's going to happen to my nephews? What's going to happen to my cousins, my aunts, my friends? That's living in the hood. The hood, like like I don't give a fuck if I live in Jersey. I'm from the Bronx. I don't want to see my affected. The Bronx, Brooklyn, it's gonna affect the whole New York. 120 million budget cut on schools, libraries, police department, and sanitation. New York is already super dirty. Like, yo, you know what's embarrassing? Like, it's like, you know, like I know people from California, I know people from Atlanta, so I always be like, yeah, New York is the greatest place in the world. Yeah, they be like, New York is dirty, and it is dirty, and we're gonna get even dirtier with the budget cut. And yeah, we talking about we could fund two wars. That's like a trying to front like, yeah, I got the money to support two. But you really don't.
Y'all have to stop thinking that the president is a dictator or a king, that he has the right to go ahead and control state to state to state to state. Why do you think from a federal level, when we had Roe v. Wade, when it was the law of the land, that Roe v. Wade was overturned because Donald Trump put 3 Supreme Court justices who changed their mind about Roe v. Wade, which brought it back to the state level, which is why now you're starting to see women's reproductive rights being on the ballot, allowing people to decide. But when Joe Biden was in office, and from the federal level, what they were trying to do, and you can look at Kamala Harris' ass right here, they were trying to codify women's reproductive rights before the Supreme Court took it. But because y'all didn't vote in 2016, this is the thing that confuses me. Y'all can go from pillar to post, afford to get a hotel room, to afford to travel to a different state, to go to a march and march up and down the damn street, but you can't march to the polls, where the real change happens.
No, we cannot fund these fucking wars. We can't. Keep it a bean. We can't. Like, y'all doing budget cuts on the biggest city in the United States. Somebody said, Cardi, look behind. Stop playing with me. This shit is getting out of hand. We're really going, they don't want to say the word, but we're going through a recession right now. We really, really, really fucking are.
I'm not mad at Cardi B. Some of us, like right now, a lot of people are just frustrated and don't know who to blame. So they just say, oh, let me blame the president. I got a flat tire, let me blame Biden. Biden is the reason why I got a flat tire. My damn shit done popped out. My brakes ain't working. I got to blame some damn body. Rather than looking at what we can do to actually call real effective change. Cardi, you were talking about inflation being really high. Inflation is high everywhere. Everywhere. It's global. It's not a Biden issue. It's not a Democratic issue. It's not an American issue. It's everywhere. But one thing that I do know is that thanks to Biden and this administration, we have some of the lowest inflation compared to the other GQ nations. Now, I want y'all to understand, y'all think things are bad right now, but Biden's doing everything he possibly can because Congress refuses to act. We do not control Congress right now. Republicans are in charge of Congress right now, Cardi. So any cuts to the budget that's happening, Congress is in control. This is everything Democrats have tried to do. When you're talking about New York City, I don't know how many goddamn millions and billions of damn dollars Biden has given to New York City alone when it comes to the infrastructure bill. You were talking about y'all gonna be plagued with rats, this, that, and the other. You're not gonna see this change happen overnight because it is up to your local state legislatures and how they're going to distribute this money and call for the contractors to actually work on the roads, work on the subway, work on the sanitation. It is all on your local level that's happening.
It's a really, really good response.
But let me say this in closing, Cardi, because I support you. Okay, my back shot sounds like bongos. I ain't scared to admit I'm a freak hoe. I ain't scared to admit that I don't know everything. But when I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't jump on the internet and misinform using my platform. We have a responsibility to make sure that we're putting out correct information because right now Candace Owens is running with everything that you're saying.
Also very good. There's just a few points to hit on here. The first is, if some of y'all are new and you haven't seen our stuff, we have gone over how Cardi B has called out the likes of Fox News, how she has called out Tomi Lahren. And the way that she did so was taking it head on and calling them out because that is what they deserve. It is also very important for someone like this who has millions of followers to use her platform for good. And she is. She is. She is telling you what is being cut, how terrible it is for society, and how it's only going to make us worse, especially by those in positions of power. Now, on the contrary, and respectfully, from one former Bernie supporter to another, there's a reason why fact-checking is so utterly important. She means well. She means incredibly well. And there are some things, where Too Raw, Too Real and I can agree, and I'm sure there are some points where we might disagree. But he is saying voting in local elections, running grassroots campaigns, not taking corporate PAC money, as we certainly do know, is going to help everybody in the long run. A lot of people focus on the presidency, and they should. It's important, of course. But local politics is also incredibly important. It is vital to your community. It is vital to your success. It is vital to how the resources are going to be allocated. So I leave with this: shining a light on what is most important in each and every place, and how the government may be failing us, because God knows it is very important. It is vital. And at the same point, we need to know how these resources are allocated and who controls the funds. So kudos to both of these people, and we will be following them closely.